Hello, cool people. My name is John, aka Yugimoto Jeans. If you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram, that is the username. Please go follow. And what the cool people are talking about today is hyperpop, the possible resurgence of hyperpop, and what that means for music in the next couple years. And today, I want to talk to you all about what hyperpop was, what it currently is, and what I actually see for a resurgence of this genre in the big 25. Sorry about my voice. I just went out last night and I went kind of crazy.
Can you say magnetic?
But I wanted to get this video out for you guys really quick. So please ignore the voice. Next time I will be in pitch perfect shape. My voice will sound like SZA.
Scissor.
So what exactly is hyperpop? So to me, hyperpop is this ironic take of pop and hip hop. There's a lot of EDM and dubstep influences. There's a lot of distorted production. To me, it's really fun. It's really different and fresh take, especially on pop music for sure. There's some hip hop elements too, but it's more focused on the pop music and breaking what traditional pop sounds like. And to me, it all starts with A.G. Cook and PC music and the artists that first start there. A.G. Cook actually cites Nicki Minaj being the first hyperpop artist. And to me, that makes sense because Nicki Minaj was this first artist that was a rapper and a pop star, especially in the Roman Reloaded era. She had songs like Starships, Super Bass, and then she was rapping on Bees in the Trap and things like this. It was a crazy mix of hip hop and pop that propelled her to superstardom. Everyone knows who Nicki Minaj is, a household name. So there are a lot of major players in the hyperpop world. One is Charlie XCX. I think she was introduced to this with How I'm Feeling Now and the Forgotten Album XCX world. There's a lot of hyperpop aspects. There's a lot of stripped down 808s. There's a lot of like really distorted synths. I think How I'm Feeling Now was really, it was this weird bedroom pop, very dubstep influenced pop record that I think is one of Charlie's best works. I think Party for You. I think, what are some other bangers on there? C2O.
And all of a sudden I was like, who's this white girl with all this rhythm?
Forever. Those are just amazing songs. And there's a lot of other artists too.
What would you do if when you okay, so he said yes would go?
There's Eric DOA and Midwest who went more into like the hip hop scene. There's Jane Remover, who, if you don't know who Jane Remover is, please stream her. More like a shoegazy dream pop rock kind of influences and has moved on to that space. And then you have artists like 100 Gex, who are the poster child of the hyperpop world. And 100 Gex is this group made up of Dylan Brady and Laura Less, and they were very indicative of what hyperpop was. It just thrashy beats, very distorted production. A lot of people didn't know what to make of it, and I loved it. I've seen 100 Gex live a couple of times. Amazing group. I think it's just so fun and so fresh. Just such a different take on what pop music could be. And it kind of freaked people out, which I kind of love. I love when a new artist comes in full force, freaks people out. Everyone says they're ass. Everyone thinks they're not good. And 5 years from now, they just get proven wrong because they keep putting out quality music.
Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said.
But we're going to come back to 100 Gex because they have an interesting relationship with hyperpop. A lot of the artists I just mentioned have an interesting relationship with hyperpop. In 2020, people loved hyperpop. I feel like people wanted something different because we were all stuck in our houses and we wanted to feel like something was progressing in the world. We were all stuck for 6 to 8 months. We're always on go. And hyperpop was just such a different genre that it felt like, okay, we're still moving along. We're still progressing creatively. And we just saw so many new artists be able to blossom in the hyperpop genre. And a lot of artists, which is a downfall of hyperpop, which we'll talk about in just a second, a lot of artists use hyperpop as a jumping off point to another genre. Yeah, I think it was just a fun take on it, and there was a lot of acceptance in hyperpop. There's a lot of LGBTQ trans artists that are in hyperpop, and a lot of people gravitated towards that. They felt seen in this genre, and I think it gained traction really fast. So let's talk about the fall off of hyperpop. And I think this happens around 2022, 2023. 100 Gex doesn't really release anything. They're one of the main poster child, like I said, of hyperpop. And they've come out and said, no, we're more of pop artists. And this is where hyperpop kind of falls off, because you have a lot of big artists that are in this hyperpop scene that really blow up. They have millions of listeners. They're on certain TV shows doing this, and they just disown the hyperpop genre. They're like, no, I'm a hip hop artist, or no, I'm an indie artist. No, I'm a pop artist like 100 Gex. And you don't really have a face of the genre anymore. In pop, you have like a Taylor Swift, and then you have a couple artists in there. Like even Charlie XCX is more pop now. She's not really hyperpop anymore, or she just flirted with that idea for a little bit, but she's always been pop. Or you have like a Midwest who is more hip hop now. You have Eric DOA, who's more that hip hop, pop, blurring the lines now. And then even Jane Remover, someone that was in that hyperpop scene a lot, is more indie rock now. So all these artists really never wanted to be associated with this. They just fell into this genre and then dipped after a year or two. So there was no one to be the face of hyperpop, and I think that's what caused a lot of it to go into the shitter. And I think too, a lot of people got tired of the pots and pan music, the very distorted EDM dubstep. I still love it. I check out the Hyperpop Spotify playlist every once in a while. I love that sound. I'm so glad I found this genre of music. I love it. I don't know if it'll ever get out of my playlist, but I think people disliked it. I think a lot of people dislike the access of the hyperpop genre. I think you can easily just label yourself hyperpop, and there's a lot of elitists in the music industry that are like, no, you're not a real artist. You're using production to uplift your music. You're not writing songs like these other pop stars. You're not rapping like these other hip hop artists. And I think there's a lot of elitism that caused the downfall of hyperpop for a while. I mean, everything is cyclical, and I think the cycles are just going by so much faster now. I think if hyperpop came out in 2016, like it really came on in 2016, it might still be alive today. You never know. It could be dead in 2020. You never know. So I've seen a lot of discourse on TikTok about this possible resurgence of hyperpop. Oh, 100 Gex, they need to come back. And I think there's a couple of things that have caused this feeling of wanting to be rejuvenated. One, it's nostalgia. Nostalgia happens so fast now. I mean, this hyperpop really got onto the scene in 2020. That was 4 years ago, almost just a little bit less than 5 years ago. We're nostalgic about stuff that happened 5 years ago. Girl, what the fuck? That's insane. Like, I'm nostalgic about the late 90s or early 2000s. That's perfectly fine. That was 20 years ago. This is that's just crazy to me that we're going so cycle by cycle that 5 years ago is nostalgic. Calling the 2016 Warriors like a vintage team or a historic NBA team. Like, what the fuck? And I think second, like I said, there's a lot of trans people in this genre. There's a lot of LGBTQ people in this genre. And I think people want to align more with these people. The people that want to align with these people are going out of their way to search for these artists or these businesses because of the social climate. And yeah, I think a lot of more people just want to stream that type of music, and I think it's just lifting them up. More streams is going to put you in the algorithm, blah, 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 blah. And I think also, too, people stray from the mainstream every day. People want to feel different. People want to feel like they're doing something cool, edgy. And hyperpop will be that anti-pop that it was in 2020 again. So what do I think the future of hyperpop is? Well, I think there is going to be a resurgence because I think people get nostalgic so fast. I think we're going to be in a political climate where people really want to support people that they care about. And I think you're going to see like an artist like 100 Gex. I think they're going to come out with an album in 2025, and I think people are going to like it. And I think you're going to see a couple more new artists in 2025 and blow up through the hyperpop scene. You'll see a little resurgence. But I think it's going to ebb and flow. It kind of sucks because I really enjoy hyperpop. But I think we're going to get just these like little ebbs and flows for the next 5 years. 2025, it's going to be big. And then 2027, you're going to see it. Like, what the fuck is this? This sucks. Bring back real pop. And then in 2028, you might see some little ebb and flow. But 2030, I feel like it's going to take on a new name. But this style of distorted, ironic pop is always going to be somewhere, just under a different name. So it'll be interesting to see what hyperpop turns into. Does it become glitch core? Does it become whatever core? Does it become your mama's core, your daddy's core? I don't know. But it's going to evolve. And I think You're just gonna have someone to latch onto it and claim it if it's gonna stay hyperpop. You're gonna have 100 geeks be like, no, we are hyperpop artists. Came up in this scene and we love it. Or you need another big artist. No, hyperpop is what I am. I want to be a hyperpop artist because the original hyperpop people never wanted to be hyperpop artists. It was this genre that came out in the pandemic, so they never wanted to be that, and they moved on. And you need someone that's like, no, I want to be in this lane. If you don't have that, hyperpop turns into something else. If you do, hyperpop stays a little bit longer than I think. What do you all think? Do you all think that hyperpop is here to stay? Do y'all think hyperpop is going to go kablooey in the next 6 months, next year? Is there even going to be a revival? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please, if you like the video. Hopefully, I get a video out for you all on Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to be an interesting video. People will probably hate it, but we will see. Please comment, subscribe if you want more content, and I will see you next time. Peace. Get with the vibes.